Namaste, hi. Today I'm going to be speaking about failures. Failures is something that always makes its presence in our life at some point of time or the other. One of the difficult things about failures is accepting it. One thing that we have to understand is that there is no such thing as success or failure. Swami Vivekananda says, no life will be a failure, and there is no such thing as failure in life. Why does he say this? It is because, truly speaking, failure is basically us looking at life as being only a success, whereas life should be seen in another way, and that is that life is eternally going to be one phase of learning in which we get better and better, and we make ourselves stronger and stronger. At another place, Swami Vivekananda says that we achieve success and we are overthrown by failure, we achieve pleasure and we are overthrown by pain. In the sense that when we chase one aspect, we are bound to experience its opposite aspect. So if we are going to chase the idea of success, we are going to be bound to experience the idea of failure as well. And if we are going to think that we are living this life for pleasure, we are going to be experiencing pain as well. But the idea to be understood is that failure is never a concept, and it is an error if we see it so. Every aspect of our life should be seen as a learning, and in that learning, if we observe life to be that it teaches us and it helps us grow and get stronger, if we look at it this way, then our idea of failure will change into something that is depressing to something that is interesting, something that excites us, something that brings out the best in us, if we turn it to an idea of learning. So in another place, Swami Vivekananda says that whenever failure comes, if we analyze it critically, he says 99% of the times we shall find that it was because we did not pay attention to the means. Means means the way we achieve it, the way we have put our goals forward to achieve that end. We were not very good in the process. He says that proper attention to the finishing and strengthening the means is what is needed. With the means in place, the end must come, he says. So the finishing, when the finishing is to come, we should be able to focus and we should be able to give our heart, but even more we should be able to concentrate and focus when we are working towards it. So this way the concept of failure or success simply goes, because we are now in a process of learning and strengthening ourselves. We are in a process of innovation, we are in a process of growing, and this kind of an idea, when there's a shift in, then life becomes far more meaningful, and failures are never seen that way. They are seen as something that's bound to give us knowledge and learning, and knowledge and learning is something that we all love, that we all deeply connect with, that we are all very personal with, that makes us happy. Knowledge is the hallmark of being a human, because whenever knowledge is gained, man feels evolved and happy. Now, another place, Swami Vivekananda says, in a manner to understand that failures should not hold us back, should not pull us back. He says that never mind failures, they're quite natural. He even goes on to say, what is life without it? They are the beauty of life, he says. What would life be without them? It would not be worth having it if it were not for the struggle. So what we're going to achieve, there's no fun in gaining what we want to achieve if we are not struggling, if there is no strife, if there is no struggle and hard work in it. So he says failures are not to be looked upon that way, and he says they're the beauty of life. He says, where would poetry be in life if not for failures, right? They add a story to us, they make our life feel more meaningful, the struggles. So he kind of changes the way we look at struggles and failures. He says, never mind the struggles, the mistakes, never mind the failures. If you fail 1,000 times, he says, make an attempt once more. This way he tries to lift our idea of failure, change it to the idea of learning, and always motivates us to push ourselves forward and attain that success. And that is, success is learning, not a kind of success with which we are always fearing or we are always staying away from failure. So another great psychologist, he says that success requires persistence and the ability to not give up in the face of failure. So if you require persistence, if you were to be successful, you cannot be worrying about failure. You have to look at failure as experiences, and when experiences come to us in the form of learning and innovation, then only persistence comes. So we are not able to push ourselves and be persistent at anything. That is because we have marked the idea that it's either success or failure. But if you change the idea of failure to something like this, and if you say that we are constantly learning, then we even get persistence, the ability to continue, the ability to push forward, because every failure brings about learning, and learning brings about a new understanding and knowledge. This way we can change our idea of failure to learning, and this is how we can in one way overcome the idea of failure in our lives. Thank you for listening. Thank you.